Welcome to a very, very special episode of the PP1 podcast. Normally, we'd be talking about the Canucks. That's not going to happen tonight. If you really want to talk about the Canucks, Twitter is a great place to go for that today. This has been the show, Ted. You and I, we've all kind of been involved in this over the last couple months, just saying like we should try this out. This is called DGAF, Don't Give a Food Take. So far, we've got two of our good friends, Keeks Kira out in Kamloops. We've got Michaela out in the Pacific Northwest region, south of the border. Thank you very much for coming. And we've got my good friend Ted, who is a co-host of the PP1 podcast. I've got an email. Don't worry about that. that came. We are now sponsored by our good friend at Move Health and Fitness. I'm going to put this up. They have a new Kelowna office. They offer chiropractic. They offer massage therapy, which I just booked yesterday. Little secret, there's actually availability for registered massage therapy and exercise, so physio, clinical counseling, acupuncture as well. They're located inside the Walmart in Kelowna. Go check them out. I am so excited. I've been waiting to get massage therapy done for like months, and I can now book it within a week. That's like one of the only places in town, folks. They're also in the Lower Mainland in Victoria. Go check them out. Local small business helping out people like us, Ted, you and me, I mean, but also the rest of us. We're going to be having, I think we have like a chiropractor coming on at the end of the month, and we're going to just chat about like sports injuries and that kind of stuff. So really, really cool partnership. Move Health and Fitness. Thank you guys so much for coming. But let's get into the task at hand. We're here to talk about food. Are you guys excited?
Just like food, just food, or food in Canucks, or food in football? It's just food for us.
No football, no hockey, no Canucks, just food. If we talk about the Canucks, I should have like a. No, wait, that's from our football show. Sorry. What's this one? Nope. That was another football one. Let's get into it. So we're not gonna drop the absolute hammer to start this one. Oh, by the way, go onto our YouTube page. Go onto the Dean Blundell YouTube page. I'm waiting for that to drop. I've sent out the link for everybody. Comment along. If you've got a food take, come on in. We will answer. We've got 4 panelists to discuss this. But first and foremost, we've got a bunch of things on there. I sent you guys out the list. Kira, if you're going to get into a food take, like what is the first thing like you live and die by? Like what is your thing?
Okay, I'm going to look at this bunch of stuff list there and see. There's enough there for sure. Okay, there's one that's jumping out at me right now. And this is one that I kind of have a little bit of a background story. I'll be quick. So cheesies. I love Hawkins cheesies. And this is actually a food take that I've like unabashedly tweeted in the past that I love Hawkins cheesies. I'm obsessed. They're like just straight up salt. And
they're the best. They are the best.
Yeah, they're great. And the late great Jason Botchford and that was kind of one little inside joke that we shared over the years. He thought they were like absolutely disgusting, and I was just like, I'll never forget it. Yeah, yeah. He told me, he's like, there's like components of gasoline that are used to make cheesies, but I still eat them. I actually have a bag sitting in my pantry right now as we speak. So
that's so funny because like if you get into ingredients, I think in Cheerios there's like my mom used to like scare us into like certain ingredients, like there's like is it like TSP or something that's in Cheerios, which is like I think it's in like rat poison or something like that, and there's like a 0.01%, like it's one of those things like a binding agent. It's not like it even factors in. Like Frosted Flakes, there's an ingredient in there that's the same as antifreeze. Like well, I'm still gonna eat them.
Exactly.
Just gonna
Hawkins cheeses. Use Doritos as your kindling for a fire when you're camping.
There you go.
I always hear there's two different kinds of people. Like you got the people who like just dislike cheesies in general, but like cheesies fans don't like all cheesies. Like not all cheesies are equal. Like you're either a Hawkins person or you're like a cheese puffs person.
Cheetos, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like Cheetos,
Yeah.
I guess would be the big one.
Cheetos are good. Cheesies are gross.
Oh, okay.
I would
The
not have an opinion
opposite.
on this if Chris Phillips did not send me a nice, lovely care package of Canadian treats that I had never tried before. And cheesies happened to be in that box. And I put one in my mouth and it was not pleasant. And there's a GIF about it because I made a GIF of my face and my reaction to eating a cheesy, which I'll have to share later.
They're the best.
It wasn't like the
Love to see that.
kombucha lady.
Here's what I think the issue for me is that I didn't realize that it's actually like a corn-based chip, or what do you call it? Like,
That sounds right.
I wasn't anticipating it being more of like a Frito than like a Cheeto, because it's like corn-based, and so it's a corn-based snack. It makes it really crunchy. I like the texture, but the flavor I just couldn't get behind.
Yeah, like, is it just me? I mean, Keeks, you would know, obviously, you've eaten these things forever, but like, I feel like, and I don't know if it's just because I'm older now, like, I feel like they got infinitely more salty.
Oh, for sure. I feel that way too, but I'm like, is that just my salt tolerance over time? Like from when I was a kid and I ate them. I do feel like now I can't dust a bag off like I used to be able to. So they're super, super salty. But it's like if I want something like just to hit a salt and I don't want to eat a lot, but I just want that kind of taste, I just like take like 3 cheesies and like I have my fix. I'm good.
Or like their the mini size ones. And they actually have like 2 different mini sizes. So there's like the Halloween mini size, and then there's like the one you could buy any other time of the year mini size, and then there's like the big bag. Or you buy like the big 3-pack, the tall skinny ones. Yeah. And they're all good. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah,
and maybe that's a Canadian thing. Maybe we're just indoctrinated to liking these. I don't know.
I mean, if you're raised on them, like if you grow up and that's just like the flavor profile of what you're used to, then I could see where that's the case. So it's like hard when you have something that's similar that maybe I grew up on here in the States, and it's like something that you could quote compare it to, but it's really not the same thing just because it looks similar a little bit. So they're totally different. But I think that when you have something in your head and you're like, this is how this is going to taste, and then it doesn't, it's like a shock. And you're just like, what did I just put in my mouth? Yeah.
It's like when you go to sip your Coke or your Pepsi or whatever, and then like you didn't realize that you've actually just picked up somebody's root beer and sipped it, and you're just like in shock about what you've just sipped on.
And then it's not the flavor no matter what, even if you went and had a sip of the actual pop after that, or soda, sorry. Then all of a sudden you can't get that other taste back. Like it's you're now full on root beer or full on Coke or whatever it happens to be.
It might be like similar to salt and vinegar chips. It might be like the perfect snap. Like I know when I used to go eat Hawkins, I'd always eat the big cheesies that look like Bam Bam's Club first, right? I try to eat those ones. And then but they're so salty. And this is obviously my problem with it, but that you can't eat a whole bag. Like you said, you can't go dust one off, right? Salt and vinegar chips, same way. Part of the reason I eat salt and vinegar chips is I can only have so many before my mouth is just too raw, but they taste so damn good. So maybe it's the perfect snack. Who knows?
I can dust off a bag of Tim's Cascade salt and vinegar chips. And I don't know if Tim's Cascade is up in Canada, but
I've never heard of it.
A kettle chip.
I've never heard of it.
I mean, we've got like Miss Vicky's.
I have some care packages to send, it sounds like.
It's like food. What's all this? Like, it's food. We'll
do a trade. Yeah, we'll fire off some like coffee crisp and stuff like that. Do you guys have hickory sticks down there?
We might.
Hickory sticks might be a Canadian thing. I'm not sure.
I don't remember seeing them when I lived in New York State. Like we didn't have them up there. I don't know anywhere else in the States, but
hickory sticks. I don't know.
And did you guys see, Keeks, did you see this, and Ted as well? Because obviously they're not in the States. At Walmart, they had salt and vinegar hickory sticks. Have you seen this?
No.
So I saw them, and I made a pact to myself. I'm like, at some point, I have to go buy these, just to know, right? And I mean, they're good. They're not the original. They're not that smoky. Again, now that I can dust like the entire bag. And what is with the hickory stick bag, like disintegrating as you open it? Like as soon as you open it, like you get in like maybe one handful or whatever, and the bag just is constantly ripping. It's like the worst made plastic bag that they make for a bag of chips of any kind. Like, am I alone on this? Or
I haven't had them in forever. I honestly can't even remember. Like I remember what they taste like. I just can't remember the bag. Every time.
Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of on we got cheesies figured out. maybe we'll get into one more. I mean, there's a few different ones in here. So we're gonna bring up potatoes. We're not gonna bring up those potatoes yet, but kind of. Now, Michaela, you brought up the boxed mashed potatoes.
Yes.
So when I started dating my wife, they were called plastic potatoes, and I'm like, well, what the heck is plastic potatoes? I've had these before, but didn't know the name. So we're up at the lake, and this is up at her family's cabin, and this is back in the day when it was like propane stove, and this is many years ago. And so we're having these. I'm like, these are okay. At the same time, it's not something I'd have every single day, but in a pinch, if you're single or if you're kind of doing the batch thing, or like newlyweds and you're like, I don't feel like making any. These are easy. I see where you're coming from. I wouldn't put it on like a shrine.
Christmas dinner. I mean, the nicest of holidays. I'm telling you. Look, I can't help. I blame my grandma, who's British, but she lives in Tacoma, so she lives up here in the Pacific Northwest. Growing up, and she added extra butter. She didn't follow the exact, like, this is how you make what I call, people love this fake potatoes, right? It's instant potatoes. They're in a box, and you dump them in, you put some milk, you put some butter in, salt and pepper, and you're solid.
You're solid or your mash?
Your mash.
Good play.
Your mash. And she would make them like extra, she'd add extra potatoes in, so it would be like extra thick a little bit. Like it wasn't like, I don't know. She made them so good, and she'd always put like hamburger gravy over them. And so it was like hamburger gravy over mashed potatoes. And I could just put salt on them, or Texjoy. Do you guys know what Texjoy is?
I'm not even sure I know what hamburger gravy is.
Well, I would assume it's gravy from a hamburger.
No, it's, well, I mean, it's like,
is it from Hamburger Helper?
Gravy with ground beef.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's good. I've had that. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Potatoes, and it's it's just the simplest thing. It's like really easy to cook.
And
you're solid. Yeah. Like I could have like a whole fat bowl of that. But like real potatoes for me that are mashed are a little bit ruined. Like,
like the real thing is not quite the same.
It's still real. They're still real potatoes. Real. They're instant.
Potato chips.
Okay, so is it just like, just because I don't know anything about it, is it just a powder, and then you just reconstitute this powder?
Yeah. Well, and it's not I feel like I need to go get the box and like start pulling out what it looks like, but they're like little flakes, like potato flakes.
Oh.
That are like, I don't know if they're dehydrated or I don't know. But you put them in a thing with hot water, boiling water, and you mix it up, and you put as much in to make it as thick as you want it, and you put milk in, and you put butter in, and they become mashed potatoes. Thank you.
Technology.
Dehydrated potato starch. Okay.
It's a NASA program thing, I'm sure.
What, Ballhawks podcast has awful takes.
Yeah, no idea who's running that right now. We'll have to ask Steve or Chris when they get in.
So we got box potatoes will never replace. I mean, they're not going to replace the real thing.
Obviously. It will for me. It doesn't have to for anybody else. You know what? That's okay. That's my food take. And I have to tell you that it's delicious. And I won't ever be upset if, you know what, you've cooked a really hard meal for the holidays and you've decided that the potatoes you just need really quick and easy. If that's the one thing that you decide that you want to make some instant potatoes for, I'm all for it. I will sit at your dinner table and I will enjoy.
Errol just absolutely redeemed himself. I don't even know Errol Friesen, but it is a NASA thing. Like, I'm already on the same page with this guy, and we just got started. I love this. Like, that's great. That is absolutely great.
I need a space.
I think Errol's exact words in Twitter were that he was just going to absolutely destroy us on the Food Take show. So I hope he hangs out the whole show.
That was I'm already on his side. So
yeah,
I don't want Ted. I don't want this to be a bashing Ted show.
It's fine if it is.
I mean, it's usually me, so I kind of like being in the position of power. So I don't know how many times we're going to bring this up because the whole mashed potatoes thing,
infinity times.
Are we going to I don't want to have this take the entire show, but maybe do we want to get this out of the way first and then you can throw in a jab every now and then? I'm not sure. Do you want to because ladies, mashed potatoes, yay or nay? I'm not talking, I don't need all the technicalities. You're having a meal where mashed potatoes come out. Are you for them or are you against them?
Overrated or underrated?
I'm not asking you, Ted. I'm talking to a friend.
Mashed potatoes are rated exactly where they need to be.
There you go. That's a great answer.
Very
And
political.
Ted's like,
Oh my god, I'm being political on this thing. No, they're underrated, Ted. They're
Underrated.
Even
Oh,
underrated. This is great.
Mashed potatoes are underrated. Even my
What do you
sister
think?
for Thanksgiving is like, we could do without mashed potatoes. It just fills you up and you can't enjoy anything else. And
It's true.
disagree.
It's true. Like you have to have a big bowl of mashed potatoes and then you have to go have a nap after. Like I'm going to miss out on everything.
No.
Oh, FOMO.
No. Get out of here. Keeks, what do you think?
I like mashed potatoes. I don't think they're not odd. They're like kind of in the middle of the ranking of potatoes for me.
No, like I'm not asking if they're like on God tier kind of thing. Like Ted,
A lot of people talk about potatoes like they're on God tier.
They are an appropriate side dish. I'll say that they're an appropriate side dish. You can serve them with a lot of different proteins.
Yes.
I do like a little. I don't just like a basic salt and butter. I like a little bit of garlic and a little bit of flavor going on in them. But I like mashed potatoes, of course.
Lovely. And
I don't know.
agree.
You're the first person I know that doesn't feel at least like good about mashed potato. Like it's interesting.
I just like how it's a take that he's like, this is to his grave kind of take. And even like, this isn't like a shtick, everyone. We've talked off air about this and like, we'll all come to hands basically. And which is great. Like, I love you, man. I really do. But I just love that it's such a terrible, terrible take that you have.
It's you know what? It's not a terrible take. I'm betting that like, well, not even I'm betting. I know that like anybody outside of North America is probably going to agree with me on this.
No, I don't think so. I think
mashed potatoes like overrated. I'd way rather have something like I don't know, like fried rice would be great.
That's
if we're talking starches, right? I mean, like a risotto would be so good. Maybe the same kind of ideal as mashed potato, but maybe even better.
You're the Pavel Datsuk of this.
Pretty good. A seafood risotto. Oh.
Yeah, like that might be the closest direct comparable, right? Like rice to potato, risotto, mash.
You not like any potato? Like if I was to hand you some French fries, would you decline?
Oh, I love all potatoes. I just don't like mash. I think mash is just
so it's just a mashed thing. Okay.
Even like mashed potato the next morning, like flattened out and fried up as potato pancakes, mashed potato pancakes. Yeah. So good. They got that like crispy, crunchy skin on it. Maybe fry an egg, like put the egg on top, a little bit of hot sauce. Like, oh, so good. But it's not mashed potato. It's just, it's different. It's different at that point, right?
I'm just gonna try something here just to see. I don't want everybody. We've got there. I can have like the chat overlay on here. Maybe we'll try that for a bit. Let's get away from potatoes because I don't want it to take up the entire thing. What I do want is to get quickly into. We'll pick one or two things. So I've got raisins. We've got the whole kiwi thing, and maybe we'll stick to those, and then we can let you guys go. So
raisins. What's wrong with raisins?
There we go. I love it. Okay. So what's everybody's take on raisins? I think they're absolutely trash, and as soon as they enter any food, it ruins the food entirely. Like raisins, I don't care what kind of like even craisins. Like if you sneak it in, I may allow it.
Like dried fruit. You don't like
raisins? No, I don't. I mean, there's the odd dry fruit, but raisins, like, and I've had this feeling since I was a young boy. Raisins suck. They suck. That's where I'm standing. How does everyone else feel about this?
Well, for starters, I don't know who Ballhawks is asking me about Joey's mashed. I don't know. I never order them because I don't like mashed potatoes. So I'll answer that question real quick.
There you go.
Raisins in general. I mean, I'm okay with raisins. I don't go out of my way to eat them. They're okay on their own. Like they go good in like a trail mix. I love oatmeal raisin cookies.
Like I feel like
I like them in banana bread. I like them in some baking.
Those are all things that are meant to have chocolate chips, Teddy.
Yeah, it's
I feel like
that's another sore spot for me is chocolate. But yeah,
like I just feel like, and my mom will do this, or like my wife will do it, and like they'll be watching me eat this cookie, and as soon as I take the first bite, I know I've been tricked. And they're looking like it's a legitimate thing. Like they'll look and like I'm supposed to do something. No to dried grapes. Thank
Yeah,
you, Brent.
seriously, grapes are good
Yeah.
when they
Grapes
turn
aren't good?
into wine, but not when they turn into raisins. Okay,
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
just grapes are okay though, right?
grapes are fine. Yeah,
That's totally
you
different.
tried the cotton candy grapes that taste like cotton candy?
Yes,
No.
those are amazing.
What?
They
I've never
amazing.
heard of this. I
They
need to try
completely
this.
throw off.
They-
Like, you're like, oh, go ahead. Share.
Yeah, you got those. Like in Canada, come up like maybe twice a year. Like you have to hit the grocery store right. If you come across cotton candy grapes, you need to try them. They are so good. Like I can dust a bag of those off. Like they're so good.
Huh. I've never heard of these.
And they're
Yeah,
they're
where,
really.
where do I get this?
You just have
I've
to
seen
be
them.
it's like seasonal, so you have to like be lucky when you go to the grocery store. So
Okay,
if any of us happen to see them at the grocery store, we need to share with everybody that like you better go get yours now.
I usually do tweet when I see them at the grocery store. I usually do tweet. I saw someone on TikTok say they had them at Safeway right now. Now I haven't been to Safeway, so I don't know, but I've gotten them at Save On in the past. Save On Foods has them, but someone said Safeway has them right now, so I don't know if that's true, but
Someone also said
I'm
that
about
I
to
don't
go
have
look.
TikTok, so I wouldn't know.
someone
would-
also said that cotton candy grapes taste like diabetes.
Pretty much.
If you like sugar, that ain't no problem. So
Exactly.
Yeah, no, we
I mean,
see
I've
it.
never tried them. They
Dessert more
sound
than a
interesting
fruit.
enough. Like I'd definitely give it a try for sure.
Mhm.
We've got
But
Jenna
back to-
in the wings there. We see you, Jenna. You're on next. We'll get you in a second here. Keep going. Finish what you're saying.
There's nothing I just want to add, Ryan, there's nothing more disappointing than biting into a cookie that you think is a chocolate chip and it's an oatmeal raisin. Like there's just nothing more. And I like raisins in some things. I like them in like butter tarts. I make butter tarts, every Christmas I make those. I love like a nice rice pudding with raisins, but
Yeah.
anything like muffins, cake, anything
You
like
feel
you
like
said,
you've been lied to.
Michaela, with chocolate chips, no. Like it's just disappointing.
Like you feel like you've been lied to. Like one of the worst things, and like that someone's let you down. Basically, that's how I always feel. I know that's a strong thing to say, but raisin cookies is why I don't trust other people. Thank you.
Thanks, Errol.
Like I like this guy. That's also probably not a good thing that I share so many of the same takes. We're probably
Yeah, that's
mean,
your
we
burner
do-
account, obviously. No, it's not. Errol's his own guy. I know.
I was gonna say I'm not smart enough to have a burner account. So ladies, we're gonna welcome in our next friend here. So first, Michaela, shameless plug. What's going on with you? Obviously, you've got a podcast. You can plug that for a second.
my wife and I do a Pacific Northwest Showdown podcast, which is Seattle sports. So if you want to check us out, we're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and you can find us at PNW Showdown. And then, of course, my Twitter handle is right there at Michaela Mattis. So feel free to give us a follow, listen, tell us what you like, tell us what you want to hear. We're all for it.
Beautiful. And Keeks, good to see you again. I think we had you on in our first season, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I swear, am I having deja vu? But I swear we had talked about this even when I was on the podcast last time. You guys had prefaced about doing like a food episode. I don't know if it actually made the podcast itself, but I'm sure we had talked about this before. So I'm happy we're here. So thanks for having me.
Like I've been talking about this at work. I've been like, this is just something I said, Ted, we have to do this because if we don't, it's never going to happen. So I'm glad that we've made a few new friends as well. And like it's food. Like who doesn't like talking about food? Like once everybody leaves, you're like, I'm gonna go eat some food.
What do you think I'm going to do when I log off of this?
Exactly. You can
Hit up the
mount
mashed
one of those
potatoes.
cheesies, and
I
it's a
have
good
some
time.
Going for the
mashed
cheesies.
potatoes that will be ready in about 2 minutes. So
Lovely. Okay, so
Awesome.
we're gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for coming. Check them out on Twitter; they'll be there. Check them out on Instagram, on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know how that works.
all the things.
But I am
Thank
getting
you.
an Apple Watch this week again, so that's almost the same thing. I'm a dad. That was a dad joke. Okay. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry on behalf of everybody. Ladies, thanks so much for coming, and we will see you again.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Okay, so we're going to do one. Did I do this right? Oh, shoot. I'm going to figure this out. Okay, Jenna, you're here. Thank you so much for waiting. How goes it? I think. Oh, there we go. We'll figure it out. There we go. We can see you. Can we hear you? How do we block this guy?
Hi.
Block him.
Okay.
Hey.
I gotta block this guy. Somebody's doing something stupid. So
What?
block user. We're not gonna give it.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're not gonna give it the time of day for that. Block.
We got to people to spam the chat to get that out of there.
Something went wrong. Yeah, how do you do that? Okay. So hopefully, if not, we're getting rid of the chat. If people can still see that, hopefully not. Jenna, how's it going?
Yeah. Good. Can you hear
How
me?
you doing? We can.
I'm doing well. You can? Okay.
Welcome to the food show. The DGAF. Don't give a food take.
Hey.
So come in hot.
I'm
What's your
repping some
take?
Abby Canucks.
Yes.
What's my
lovely.
take?
How's that been? Have you been
Listen.
going to those games? I know you got ditched the other night. Those games are good?
I have season tickets. Yeah, they're great. Pretty good atmosphere. We're still in a zone that's 50% capacity, so they've never had a full building. They've not been allowed. But it's been good. The one thing that's a little hard is just keep with who the heck is on the team on any given night, because they're constantly having to sign people and people are going up and down. So I just don't have the memory for that.
This has been such a crazy season for all of that too. So it would be crazy on a normal year, but obviously with everything going on and taxi squads and all that kind of stuff. But we brought you in because obviously you love chatting food as much as we do. What is your hot take?
My hot take. Like, do you want me to trash Ted like off the top, or do you want me to ease into it?
So
what feels right?
You go whatever. So we've got like a list of stuff, but we just, I don't know if you heard the mashed potatoes rant, but what was one before we get into that? What would be your other one? Like, we kind of just chatted on raisins. We'll probably bring that up again. I can't remember what we had in the group chat there. What was one of your takes?
I am a very passionate anti-raisin account.
Good.
My entire Twitter brand is based on my hate of raisins.
Like, this is perfect.
I don't even have them in my house, man.
That's good.
I won't even give them to a toddler. It's not happening.
Like, just regular raisins or raisins in every format?
I can eat them in like
butter
Raisin
tarts.
Bran. No, that's offensive. What planet are you on?
I just feel like I had to ask. I'm trying to get a lay of the land here. I don't.
No.
Hey, Chris.
No. Why would you take something perfect like baking and say to yourself, I'm gonna put in some rotten fruit? Like, why would you do that? Why would you say to yourself, hey, I'm gonna make a cinnamon bun. How could I possibly make this better? Oh, I'm gonna put rotten fruit in it. No,
and that's another one.
Who
cinnamon
said
bun is the one I can get behind.
No.
Raisins and cinnamon buns is weird, but
no, it's getting lied to again.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Carrot cake, it belongs.
No, yeah, it's good in carrot cake.
No,
it's better than walnuts in carrot cake.
No.
That's gross.
Absolutely.
No. You know what's actually good in carrot cake, and you would know this from Starbucks, is pineapple. Starbucks used to put pineapple in their carrot cake.
Did they
when they used to? Yes. So what they used to do is hire local bakeries to bake their goods. So in Victoria, they had a bakery that did a carrot cake that had pineapple in it. And listen, I'm a pineapple on pizza kind of gal, so I'm already a little off, but I enjoy the pineapple in the carrot cake.
I'm fuming right now. Pineapple belongs nowhere near anyone's mouth.
I mean, at least it would make it like it would be super moist then.
Mhm.
Sorry for anyone that doesn't like that word.
It was, yeah.
Like my wife.
No, you know what? Yeah.
McCain Deep and Delicious. I mean, do they not have it right on the packaging? Pretty sure they do.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I would be completely down to try out pineapple and just about everything. I'm a big pineapple supporter.
Definitely not pizza.
Pineapple
me
strong.
too.
Oh, 100% on pizza.
Pineapple on pizza,
No.
absolutely. You know, have you guys tried pepperoni pizza with pineapple?
I've tried pepperoni pizza, yes.
With pineapple though?
No.
It's fantastic.
Or I do like this. The dog can have them. Here you go. Here, Rocket.
What about bacon though? Like not
Yes.
just ham. Like my
Yeah,
mom
bacon.
gets ham and pineapple with extra bacon on it.
Oh, like a third topping.
Like a third topping, like crispy, kind of sliced up, almost
Interesting.
julienne bacon.
I
Wow.
I love this
Some of
idea.
our listeners may not know what that means. So
We did a candied prosciutto and pineapple on pizza, and it was unbelievable. It was so good.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I mean,
That makes a lot
I
of money.
even as a vegetarian, I can say, yeah, that probably sounds good.
wow, that's welcome, Chris. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Chris is from the Ballhawks. He's also on our network as well.
Who's running the Ballhawks account right now? Is that you or is that Steve?
Steve doesn't know the password to that one.
Secrets out, folks. Secrets
Yeah.
out. Nothing wrong with barbecue chicken, bacon. See, like I can't do pineapple, so on pizza would be just a heavy no.
Just
I
pineapple in general. You're not a
Pineapple in general, I like maybe like the wine gum flavor. Maybe that's not even pineapple. It's just
when we're talking about pineapple, your go-to is the wine gum flavor.
that's like wine gum pineapple flavor. Yeah, that's it. That's the only way I will
Or
tolerate.
doesn't Crush make a pineapple pop now?
Oh, do they really?
I think so.
I think they do.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think
like
I've seen it.
artificial flavorings of certain foods, I can dabble into a little bit, but no
So like
pineapple.
the fake version of the flavoring is always what you prefer. Is that what I'm hearing right now?
100%. Yes,
Okay,
that's
just
true.
making sure.
Yeah, for the
You're
record,
like a
that is true.
Splenda.
Yeah, Ryan
Ugh.
food takes not to be trusted.
No, that's wrong.
Eh,
Most of like the raisin one, I'm gonna stand by. I think that's fair.
That's fair.
Chris,
Yeah, I agree with you.
Pineapple
100%.
crush. That oh man, like Errol's just who like I don't know you, Errol, but we need to be friends.
It's
Pineapple.
your burner. High in rank.
Look, I saw that. I'm not even that clever to come up with a cool name like that. Pineapple Crush would make for a good chicken marinade base. Like now, I need to make that.
So
Errol's,
Ted,
Errol's in
friends.
the kitchen.
He's
Ted,
just
the crispy mashed potatoes from Joey's are mashed potatoes, but then they're rolled up in like an egg roll and then deep fried.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I
a
could
good-
get on board with that. That
What?
sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Deep frying stuff generally makes things better.
So then it's like the crispy
That's
outside, but then you
accurate.
cut into it and it's got the mashed potatoes on the inside.
My whole problem with mashed potatoes is the texture, right? So if I'm going to get it filled with all the crunchy goodness and then deep fried, I can't see myself not liking that at all. It sounds really good.
That's my wife.
See, I
will
like
go
a
to
chunky
Joey's just for
mashed
that.
potato.
Okay, I got a good one. I don't want to do potatoes the entire time, and I'm going to be host guy. Cilantro. We were talking about this in the group chat. So, before we do takes, cilantro, thumbs up, thumbs down. Ted, he's all in on. Jenna is wrong.
Can I just do this? Like I'm like I'm
You're
not
indifferent?
like
You don't
I
really
don't.
know.
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
Disgusting.
Like I don't
It's-
love it. I don't hate it. If it's there,
Okay.
cool. If it's not, I'm not going to miss it.
It's
Okay.
actually strange for you to be indifferent
Yeah,
because
I'm
the big deal with cilantro is you love it or you hate
Like
it.
it's a flavor.
like
Yeah,
if
Go
if
ahead.
it's
It tastes
there,
like soap.
I like it if it's there. But if it's not there, I'm not like, oh man, like this really needs cilantro. Like I'm just, I don't have a big opinion on it. It's
Jenna,
it's just there.
I got a question. So
Mhm.
now, vegetarian, does that mean that you do eat fish though, or is that considered
No. That's pescatarian.
Okay,
I
so like
eat no seafood,
meat.
no meat.
no meat. So like cilantro on like fish tacos is just like as my boss would say, thebomb.com. And I don't say that, but I'm phrasing from him. It absolutely makes it. I think you can't add it to like everything, but it's I mean, I could see where you're saying it kind of tastes like soap. That would be a fair.
It's genetic, yeah. No, it is an actual genetic thing that when it tastes like soap, that's a genetic difference. I say superior modification in my DNA, but no, it is actually genetic that people taste soap. I taste it. I can't even just a tiny little bit. It will taste like I'm gnawing on a bar of ivory soap.
Is that like
you just said a bad word and your mom stuck a bar of soap in your mouth?
I mean, that's bad. That's not
Yeah.
that's not a good look for sure. So when somebody uses cilantro when they're cooking, like fresh cilantro on top of something's a definite no-go for you. But if cilantro is used in like a base for like broth or soup stocks and stuff like that, is it bad then? Or do you notice it? Like
I can notice it. I don't know anyone that would ever really cook for me, so I get off easy that way. But if they put it in a dish at a restaurant, it'll ruin the entire dish for me.
Wow.
Okay, so Chris, you're kind of indifferent on cilantro. We've kind of got the room. Olives. Where are we all at with olives? I can't do it.
Oh,
I can't do
awful.
it.
No.
My kid eats them like candy. Like she literally calls them gummies.
I'm at the point where like if it's on pizza, I'm not gonna pick them off. I'll just eat it if it's on a slice of pizza.
I'll pick them off.
If there's a whole bunch, I'll pick them off. But if it's like there's one olive, I'm like, I'll just eat that one.
You get fools, you let it happen.
Yeah, but no, olives are no go.
They're so different though. Like you can't have anything like a black olive that's on a pizza is not even close to being the same as like a really good quality. I don't know, what would you eat if you're not an olive person? Casivia olive. Like they're so buttery and sweet and totally different.
Yeah, I can't.
They're complex, guys.
My kid gets a jar of them for Christmas every year. Like she's excited. She opens it up and she knows, like my mom gets them for her, and she knows exactly what that package is under the tree. She's like, those are olives. Can I have some, Grandma? Like Christmas morning, crushing olives. Errol knows exactly what's going on. I can't eat them. And like, imagine getting like one of your favorite toys growing up. That's how she feels about like this thing of olives. And like, it's unreal. Since she was like 2, it's crazy. So I don't get that. I don't.
Do you guys want to? Do you want to hear a funny olive story?
I thought you were going to show us that you're snacking on olives right now.
Oh, no.
I'm back.
I do have Rice Krispie treats, though. No, when I was in Italy, I was staying a week on the Amalfi Coast and then another week down by Sorrento, Naples, that whole region, and Capri. And there was olive groves. Well, I had to walk through an olive grove to get to my Airbnb, and it was harvest season. So they've got all the nets underneath and everything. Well, like any normal human being, you would say to yourself, I wonder what a fresh olive tastes like, correct? They're all over there.
Because you're there, right? I think you should. It'd be weird if you didn't.
Yeah, it would be weird. So I'm by myself. And I grab an olive, and it tasted like motor oil. It it tastes exactly like what gasoline smells like.
What?
So of course I'm like licking my sleeve. I'm trying to get this taste out of my mouth. And then in true Jenna fashion, I say to myself, hey dumbass, because you don't know what a ripe olive looks like. Maybe you grabbed the wrong one.
So let's
there's
do it
green
again.
ones and black ones. Correct.
Oh, no.
So
I think we'd all
my
do that.
dumbass.
Maybe I got it wrong.
Yeah, right. You're in Italy, right? So I grab it.
You're in Italy.
And I'm like, ah, ah. Again, I'm licking my sleeve.
Overdue.
I have like this much water in my water bottle. I'm on the side of a mountain. I have like a kilometer to go to get home. And it's just the most atrocious. It was so it turns out that olives used for olive oil is not an olive that you consume.
Really?
But that's not something that I would have looked up or Googled prior to my olive patch. So anyway, don't ever do that. It's
So
disgusting.
I guess like the olives that you would eat, then I would assume then like that's why I'm using the wrong word, but like a pickled kind of thing, like that's why they're in a jar of the brine or whatever, because it probably does it maybe eliminate part of that.
Did you know that it was brine, or did you just read Errol's comment?
No, I didn't. I didn't read his comment. No, like I know the word. I'm not I'm dumb, but I'm not stupid. I can intertwine those. I can say I'm stupid, but I'm not dumb. It works either way. One or the other. It's fine. That's all.
Yeah, I have no idea if they're. Yeah, I have no idea if if there's types that you can eat and not eat and all of that stuff. But I did look it up, and it's like, yeah, don't eat any that are being pressed for oil.
Really?
So lesson learned.
No kidding. Okay,
yes,
and I got
when they
one
say
more.
When in Rome,
don't eat olives off the trees. Like, noted. That's gonna be one of those things too. Like, you get to finally go and take like your spouse there one day, and like, oh, let's you're gonna have to trust me on this one. Like, but they're right there. We can have no. That's not what they're for.
It's not an apple tree. Just put it down and walk away.
Let's get out of Dodge while we can.
You have to go full raisin on them.
Final one on this kind of row, mushrooms. We're going to find out how picky some of us are, and maybe just one of us. I'm assuming all three of you all like mushrooms.
Yes.
I'm allergic. 100%.
They're rubbery.
Okay, that's a really good reason to not like mushrooms, I feel like.
They're rubbery, though. They taste
I feel like too.
Yeah. Jenny gets a pass on this one because, like, if you're allergic, you don't have a choice. I've never heard of somebody allergic to mushrooms.
They look gross, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I know lots of people that are allergic to mushrooms.
Like, where is the learning curve for mushrooms, right? Because mushrooms, like, you're always taught, like, you see them out wild, like, don't touch that, don't eat. You show your kids, don't touch that, don't eat them. So somebody was trying these mushrooms out. Some of them are like deadly poisonous. Where's the learning curve for knowing?
Somebody's beside, like, oh, okay, don't.
Big Brothers.
That one that Mike touched. Mike died, so let's
not
eat it.
No, yeah, it's a big brother. No, it's 100% a big brother forcing his little brother to eat it.
Yeah.
For sure. And if he dies, then he's like, dumbass.
Yeah. And if you got lucky, it's like, this one tastes like lobsters.
No, you give me it. You don't have any more of that. That's mine. That's funny.
Exactly.
That's probably true. That's how a lot of these, like, how did we all know, like, how milk would taste good, or like, like the way that animal is like letting, like, I bet that would taste good. Like, who's the first one that decides that?
Or
the
popcorn.
little brother.
Yeah, the little brother. You're like, hey, go drink that. I don't want to. Just do it. What's the worst that could happen? I could think of a lot of things based on what I'm looking at. Like, it makes sense. Okay, so everybody likes mushrooms. I'm gonna get absolute dummied on that one.
You don't like mushrooms?
I don't. They taste rubbery, and I get a weird
taste. Have you only tried like the one kind of mushrooms? Like, have you tried like wild mushrooms or like?
I will. To be fair,
mushrooms.
To be fair,
lobster. Lobster tastes like seafood. It's
so
really
I will say one thing, and I did not know I was gonna like it. So for the most part, it's not something I would choose. We went to I can't remember the name of that dinner where like they make all the food in front of you.
Isn't that
a potluck?
Hibachi or
hibachi? Yeah. So the guy's like doing all the stuff on the grill. So we got to do that right before Christmas. Our staff went, and there was a mushroom on there. And like the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, this isn't good. Teppanyaki, is that what it's called?
Teppanyaki.
So I'm like watching this guy go, and I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, I can't not eat this. Like, this, $100 is a seat kind of thing. All right, yeah, and it ended up, and they give you like dipping sauce and stuff. It ended up being like amazingly good. It was so good. Now every other mushroom, I couldn't believe it. Like these things are.
Oh, like a big shiitake mushroom?
It might have been. I don't know. I try not to remember all the mushroom experiences.
Yeah, it could be a portobello. That'd be, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it was a portobello. It was delicious though, and they had dipping sauces, so maybe that's why I liked it.
I should, when you don't like mushrooms, so I should say, "Oh, you haven't tried my mushrooms yet. Let me cook them for you.
I'm not
You'll
gonna eat
enjoy them."
I won't eat them. If I'm forced to, like if you're looking at me like Ryan, it would be rude not to. I'll eat one or two, and I'll like maybe shove a few to my kids or my wife, but that's about it because I just can't. I mean, you have to respect that maybe I have different taste buds in that area. Steve's just waiting in the wings, like I'm gonna dummy this guy as soon as I get on.
Just let him in. You'll have
no. He's got to wait it out. It's too many people on the screen.
Steve's on your side though, Ryan.
I know he probably is, which that's why I'm gonna let him just stew on it, and then he's gonna be like, "You're freaking right, Ryan."
He's gonna come like bursting in the door like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Glass shatters.
Yeah,
mushrooms are the worst. They're
love
fungus.
I love it. Okay, one more, and then we're gonna kick you guys out. Kiwis. This was one that we kind of chatted about in the group chat. So. Some people, I'm assuming we all eat kiwis, yes? Just in general? Like
delicious, yeah.
They're good, absolutely.
Was it twice or 3 times the amount of potassium in one kiwi than there is in a banana?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Or that's what I don't know. That's what I heard.
I'd have to Google that. I mean, kiwis, yeah, they're delicious. Grew up eating them. My kids love them. I mean, we all love them. So do any of you eat the entire kiwi, like skin, everything? Or is it cut, scoop, or just peel it or whatever? Like, who's eating with skin on?
Cut, scoop, cut the sides of my mouth every time. Like,
well, you're not supposed to do that. We're just the kiwi, Chris. You don't.
I know.
You're not the Joker. No, leave the knife away from your mouth.
I eat the kiwi skin on. They taste good both ways, but they taste different when you eat them with the skin on because it has that like sour pitch to it. But I cut the ends off with like the gross bits.
Oh, the nubbies?
Like I'm not an animal.
The nubbies. Yeah.
That's the way I was taught to eat them when I was little. My Nana, she cut them up for me, and she cut the ends off, and then she cut them in half, and then I'd get 2 pieces. And then skin on. So it's like got a little bit of crunch to it. It's like adds that extra sour, but then just the fruit on the inside is also very good. So I don't hate either way.
I just can't see like
skin on though,
eating like the fuzzy part.
Have you tried it though?
I'm sure I have, but like I'm sure I have at least. I mean, maybe once, but maybe I need to try this out. Maybe I need to like dive into. Chris is just no.
I'm a texture person, so I like as soon as I took a bite, I'd be like, I would spit it out. Like I don't eat bananas because I don't like the texture.
And you know what? I can appreciate not liking the texture.
What you're like giggling like
I just don't want to put something hairy in my mouth. Just kind of like a base level.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're
I have standards, boys. They're low, but they're there.
And Ryan, cue the Manscaped ad.
I was just going to say,
probably a good time for the Manscaped ad.
I was just going to say, like, I think the code is still there. So if you guys go to manscaped.com and enter promo code PP20, you get 20% off and get rid of that fuzz on your kiwi and just mow down on that sweet, sweet, savory fruit. That was like so unplanned and yet absolutely perfect. Jenna, thank you so much for that. That's good.
Thanks, guys.
That's good. Okay, so we'll give you guys the boot. First and foremost, Jenna, anything to plug? Anything you feel like? Floor is yours for a second.
No, just be nice to each other online and tell Ted how wrong he is. Every single group that you have.
I love that. That's perfect. Those are such wise words.
Yeah,
Chris.
Be nice, but also gang up on Ted.
Yes. Make an exemption just for one human.
Yeah.
Like, well, then that's where we start.
we do it out of love, Ted.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I dodged the I don't like chocolate and baking conversation altogether, so we're good.
Well, we can still have that. Chris, what's going on with you?
Okay.
Obviously, you've got a show apparently.
Yeah, Ballhawks podcast is we're still doing our thing. Neither one of our teams made playoffs this year. It's like, hey, start a podcast. Your teams are good at football, and then we start a podcast, and our teams don't make playoffs. But we're still going to be doing our thing throughout the playoffs and leading up to the Super Bowl, and then of course we get right into all the off season and dealing with all the Russell Wilson trade rumors and all those things. And other than that, thanks for having me tonight, guys.
We Ryan and I run obviously a Canucks podcast, and we don't often make the playoffs. So if you need any ideas or some experience with what your team is not making the playoffs is like, then we can definitely help you out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's always a fun time not cheering for. It's good. Thank you guys so much. The first maybe we'll do another one of these at some point, but in the meantime, thank you so much for coming by, and we'll see you on the Twitterverse.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye guys.
Seahawks suck.
Hey, wait a second.
I didn't say it. Somebody put it in there.
It wasn't me. That's not my burner account.
What's going on, Steve? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, boys. Thanks for having me.
It's Steve Shisher.
So you said you were kind of listening while you're. Do you have dodgeball tonight or something?
I was doing a little volleyball, but
Okay.
I had it on in the truck, hands free, of course. Really great takes. I just tweeted out that Jenna for sure just stole the show with that comment.
Oh, it was was golden. That was just absolute. Like I forgot, and I still had our little overlay there, so it worked perfectly. Just love it. Speaking of hands free, how about that Canucks game?
I mean, I think he was using his hands. I'm not sure.
He was actually a little bit. So,
mostly
Steve,
for balance.
You've got a. Before I get into a food take, so I saw. I was kind of looking for some extra ones that wouldn't be like obvious. I saw a picture of like a hot dog, and it had like chocolate sauce and sprinkles and stuff on it. Is that like? Would you guys try that or no?
Like I mean, like I'll try
all that.
Yeah, like I'll try whatever. Like I'll try it, but I mean, I feel like the chances of that being good are pretty low, and the only reason it might even taste tolerable at all is because of all the chocolate that you're throwing on there.
Right. It feels like I saw it and I thought like would that? It just feels like there's too many different flavors going on. You just be like putting food in your mouth, and there's no like taste. It's just like texture.
We probably should have talked to Chris about the mustard and watermelon one, because I find that one somewhat interesting, because I hate just classic yellow hot dog mustard. It's disgusting.
Oh,
like
really?
I like all forms of mustard, just that one I don't like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
It's gross.
Really?
It's disgusting.
Both of you guys, really?
Yeah, I would consider myself almost like borderline mustard snob. Like there's just something about regular French's or Heinz mustard that it just tastes so fake and chemically.
Like on a hot dog summer day. Like
no, you got to go to
like it.
You got to get like Swiss or German mustard, and you'll never go back. Like I can't remember the last time I had just like classic yellow mustard.
I did on the weekend at Costco. It was great.
Not as good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like some of the fancy hot mustards and Dijon and all that, and like the nice stuff for sure. But I mean, I'm not going to say that back to the summertime, the original, like they put it in a 3-pack for a reason. It's there. It's a staple of summer. It's a mustard that comes in tubes. Yeah, that's.
Yep.
It's weird, but at the same time, like
it's true. Yeah, especially for Smokies and like even like on a dried like Landjaeger or something like that. Really good to just put a little bit on there, especially if it's got a bit of kick and spice to it. Just classic French's and Heinz. Sorry, Chris, both are disgusting.
It reminds me of the Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL. Like, this was made from mustard seed. Like, the answer is mustard. Mustard.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
What is ketchup?
Yeah.
It brings a really good point up though. Like when we're talking about like, would you try sprinkles and chocolate on your hot dog? Would you try watermelon with mustard? All of these weird combinations. My answer is like 99.9% yes. I'll try it once. Like the hot dog with chocolate doesn't sound appealing, But I'm sure there's stuff we've had before that it's like, well, that doesn't seem appealing, and then you have it, and you're like, oh, okay, this changed some things for me, right?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, well,
and
we're-
maybe it's like the new thing, right? All of a sudden, like we saw Faber that he was doing it, and he made that quite popular for whatever reason. But and again, maybe that's something we like. Chris has tried it, but maybe we all need to do this. Like maybe when we do our next track meet, we got to bring out a watermelon and some mustard and
before the race.
before.
So
Like, well, the
it's just like
40's getting a little bit tough the second time, guys.
Yeah. Well, like while we're on the condiment kick, like I think ketchup is super overrated too. Like I don't really see a need for ketchup unless it's like I'm having grilled cheese, maybe. Like it doesn't belong on hamburgers. Maybe dip a fry in it. I'd still rather not. Use it in sauces sometimes, like to fill.
Exactly. It's a good base for like a sauce of some type of barbecue sauce or whatever. But
people eat ketchup on everything, like, and it's it's
disgusting.
My wife is one of those. She puts ketchup on eggs. She puts them on hash browns, fried. Like anytime she can put ketchup on something, she just like we go through those 2 big Costco size packs of it in no time. Because obviously she's now tainted our kids, and she's like, "Oh, do you want ketchup on that?" And I'm like, "I just made breakfast, and I put some care and attention into like seasoning and details." And she's like, "Oh, perfect." So I could have just made you like generic toast, and you could have chucked ketchup on it or something.
Here's burnt bread. Do you want some toast? Yeah. Or you want some ketchup? Absolutely.
It's a cover up, right? It's just a cover up to make bad food taste like ketchup.
I do that.
Yeah,
with, I mean, to be fair, I do that with hot sauce. Like any hot sauce, I'll have my kids like, "Dad, are you putting hot sauce on that?" Yes, it tastes delicious. I like everything spicy. Pizza, eggs, hash browns, hot dogs, hamburgers.
I mean, it sounds like you need to
cereal.
just like diversify your food portfolio instead of just like if you like spicy things, maybe try like I don't know, like chili peppers or.
But I'll have those things too. It's just I I don't know. Maybe I'm just like I'm like addicted, I think is the answer.
Yeah. And it's convenient too, right? Where you're like, I want to spicy my eggs up. Well, I'll just put hot sauce on it instead of like, crushing up chili or whatever it is.
And I'll do that. Like I said, I'm the one like I'll get some chili powder, a little cayenne pepper, get some pepper flakes. I'll do all that and I'll put it in. And actually the kids will eat if I don't put tons on. They'll eat it too. But I still like a little of that tang almost. And maybe it's just like the extra. I mean, it's a mess at a certain point when you start putting on everything. Like it's not good for you.
Did you say ketchup giving you tang?
I didn't say tang. I said tang about the hot sauce.
Oh.
I thought I heard that too, and I was like, maybe I'll let that one slide. Ryan's dropping the tang jokes.
Weird food combos. You were talking about like the hot dogs and hot dog and chocolate sauce?
Yeah. And then the other one
mustard and watermelon. I used to eat these all the time when I was a kid, and like they're still good now. It's peanut butter and dill pickle sandwiches.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah, because it gives you you get that salty and the dill like from the pickle, but then you get like peanut butter. We know pairs really well with everything, right? But it's surprisingly good, especially if you have a crunchy dill pickle.
Interesting.
I don't know if you guys. When I was younger, I used to eat a lot of tuna sandwiches, right? Because it was something your mom would have in there because it's easy to make for kids. And then when I was an adult, someone said, "Oh, well, do you put pickles on your tuna sandwich?" And I was like,
"Sorry,
like I'd never thought of it. It was one of those things like we're talking about where I'm like, well, that sounds weird," and I'm like, "But I'll try it." Now I've never had a tuna sandwich without pickles. Like it just takes it to the next level, and that's why I think you have to try things as weird as they sound, like watermelon and mustard. Like who knows? Maybe you maybe that becomes your summer like go-to staple snack for the rest of your life.
Yeah, maybe I was just using the wrong mustard.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe it should have been French's.
That could be like. I was just gonna say we were talking about peanut butter. You guys have had the peanut butter and like the bacon jelly at Tap House. Have you guys had that burger?
I had like a version of that at Bin 4.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably be somewhat similar to that. And that was one I looked and I thought, I would never order that normally. And I thought, I like all those things. Maybe this will taste good. Or like putting an egg. There you go. Carrots. Oh, yeah, we got to get into
that's carrot cake stuff.
Carrot cake beer.
So it's not something you'd normally put together and you think, you know what? If it's on a menu at a restaurant, it's probably worth a shot. Tastes pretty damn good, I say.
You might as well.
Peanut butter everywhere, all over my mustache. It's disgusting.
Well, it's not icicle saying it.
Kid looked at me at the next table, is like, "Oh, Daddy, what did he eat?"
Why does that guy throwing food into his mustache? Why doesn't he put it in his mouth, Daddy?
Save
I don't
it
know.
for later.
Kids, just don't stand near him and
save
don't
it.
go with him if he asks you to see his puppy.
As Katie walks into the screen. That's great.
A good dog.
Oh boy, that's great. Where was I? So we were talking about other kind of combinations. Steve, Brussels sprouts. Where are you at on Brussels sprouts?
I'm not a fan of them. I don't think they're the devil. At Christmas time or Thanksgiving, they're on the platter. They don't make it to my plate. I'm pretty indifferent to them, and I think there's just better greens that you could incorporate into that.
I agree.
I'm just not really a fan, though.
I agree. Ted, what do you feel about Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, like there's this like story that just circulates down like around family dinners every single year, and it's how like when I was like 6 years old, I had Brussels sprouts on my plate, and it was like that whole "you don't leave the table until you're done" thing, right? And so I finished all my Brussels sprouts and left the table, and then like 2 days later, my mom found like 7 Brussels sprouts on like the windowsill behind the curtain, where I guess I had just tucked them. I don't remember doing this, but it gets brought up every time somebody, and like I swear they just cook Brussels sprouts during like big dinners just to like say that they can have them. Like nobody likes them. Who likes Brussels sprouts?
So here's one thing. I have been like, until 2 years ago, let's say, I have been on the get Brussels sprouts out of there. They smell. They're bad. Nobody eats them unless you're like an old school grown up.
It's like pretend cabbage.
They're pretend. So gross. Now, I don't know where my wife saw this recipe or whatever, but she started like roasting them in the oven. So they shrink down. And you know that moment where like you have to eat it because we made the kids eat it. You got to eat it too. So I start plugging away. I'm like, these are pretty good. These are actually pretty good. And this is coming from Steve. I think in varied ways, you and I are very picky. No, I've seen your palate. You are.
I've got literally less than 5 foods that I think there's maybe 3 or 4 things that I just won't bother eating. Everything else I'm pretty good for.
So you know that movie where they're eating? Oh, right, you don't watch movies.
Nice touch.
Yeah, I know. I'm good.
Thanks for subscribing.
Exactly. Yeah, great show, by the way. Ballhawks podcast Sundays usually. I always get like Brussels sprouts. I never knew, so now that's the only time. If I know that they're going in the oven, I will eat them. Now, I know even if I were to convince you guys that these are going to taste okay and you're going to get by, if Steve even had all the things he liked on his plate, if they were touching, that's like a hard no for you, apparently.
Yeah, that's
why you're 5.
Yeah, I mean,
it's more like you're pro-choice, I think.
Right. That's a really good spin on it. Now, I chose to out myself in our Twitter DM chat there because I'm thinking to myself, like, well, what's my weird take? Like, oh, okay, I like pineapples. I like raisins. Like, people have like 50-50 disagreements. Anytime I bring up the fact that I really despise when my food touches it, like other foods, I always get these weird looks and being like, are you a child? And the answer is absolutely I am. There's a reason why they make dishes that have like tall sectioned off spots. And I love those. Those are genius. If you know where to buy an adult version of it, send me the link and I will buy it.
I'm trying to put this in my head, how this even remotely makes sense as an adult talking to what I'm assuming is an adult. Like all foods, I'm assuming all foods. Like where are you? What are you okay with? Like, can French fries touch your hot dog?
No. Why did they need to touch your hot dog?
They all go to the same place, and then you poo, and they all come out of the press.
Sure. So let me play a little devil's advocate.
That argument doesn't work. That argument doesn't work, Ryan.
I'm not saying it has to be the one
all
that
goes
wins.
to the same place. Do you blend all of your food together and just hammer it back? Well, no, you don't.
But then it's a drink.
Okay, well, chop it up and make it into like a salad together.
I mean,
there's some foods. So I always get the initial thing like, like, oh, do you eat a salad with different ingredients? I'm like, oh, well, of course I do, idiot. Like, I'm not crazy. I'm slightly crazy. Okay.
So okay,
I have a Thanksgiving. Okay, Thanksgiving.
I was going to say Thanksgiving,
and
yes.
Sometimes things overlap and they touch each other. But if I want a bite of just turkey with gravy, I love turkey with gravy, so of course I'm going to mix those two. But that's my choice. That's me controlling the situation. And every once in a while, I get a little crazy. I put a little dab of mashed potatoes in there with a little bit of stuffing, maybe a little cranberry sauce. But I don't want that all the time. So when people go up to Thanksgiving dinner and it looks like a war zone on their plate. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, do you live your life in chaos here?
I think most people do.
Apparently, I'm the only sane one in the world.
When you're describing your plate, it's very like Bob Ross, right? Oh, I'm going to take a little tapioca and I'm going to mix it with the golden yellow, and we're going to make a happy little cloud up here. That's what it reminds me of a Bob Ross episode when you're discussing your plate. It's fine.
Because like if you're painting, you don't just throw all your paints in one and be like, well, they're all going on the canvas anyways, so I might as well just mix them right now. No, sometimes you want to mix them, and sometimes you just want a white fluffy cloud, but sometimes that fluffy cloud has a little bit of darkness in it, and then you mix stuff together.
So are we talking like hard lines here, like they can't like touch like at all?
So let's take, for example, a classic breakfast thing. If you're making eggs and hash browns.
Okay.
Hash browns on one side, eggs on the other.
What about if there's bacon?
Well, bacon can kind of be like the divider because it's not going to like intertwine and stuff like that, right?
All right. What if there's like a muffin or like an English muffin or something, or toast?
What kind of put it on a side plate? That's what most restaurants do. Do you make fun of restaurants for it?
Well, I'm assuming that you don't eat every meal at a restaurant, so.
Well, I mean, no, but we were just talking about like, oh, well, if this was at a restaurant, I would try it. So
yeah, I think that's stupid that they give you a separate plate. Just put it all on there. You don't need an extra plate. If you got too much food, sure.
Like I said, sometimes, and I mean, obviously things are a little different. I'm not a big like Eggs Benny fan or anything like that. But if I was an Eggs Benny fan, I would be okay with that because that's the intention of the dish, right? Like that's what was supposed to happen there. Like, oh, do you have pizza with different toppings? I get that one sometimes. I'm like, well, yeah, because it's pizza. Like that was the intention of it. Intention wasn't to have like a blob of cheese and like a little bit of pineapple on the side. And I'm like, no, I'm going to decide when I want to put it on the pizza. No,
I would just like to be sitting in a booth like behind you at a restaurant and not ordering anything and just watching you. And just watching what your eyes are doing as the food comes and just be like, this guy is losing it right now.
Like, you can see Fisher's blood like just boiling over there. And like maybe like the server knows that it bothers me. So she like accidentally like nudges some of them on them. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
I feel like that's happened with someone.
It hasn't cracked, but now it's touching your hash browns. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, send it back. No, I'm not that crazy.
My sister's the same way. She doesn't have her food, touch her food on her plate. So this is obviously a point of contention at family dinners. And she was like absolutely owning me in an argument one time. It must have been over mashed potatoes. I'm not sure exactly.
Probably. Ideally, it was.
And it got so bad that the only thing I could think to do to piss her off was to smear her mashed potatoes into her corn. And it just resulted in me having to go sit at the kids' table. So it was not worth it.
And food was probably wasted because she's like, nope.
She didn't eat it. She didn't eat it, obviously, right?
See, on my plate, I can put everything. Like again, they'll all be. I mean, it's not like you're throwing it all on like a freaking compost heap, but you're putting them in all their sections as you take all your food, right? And they all kind of meet in the middle like a pie would. But I mean, who cares if they touch?
Well, then,
like they're not transferring flavor over.
You're not what? Sorry.
It's not like osmosis where like soon as like the turkey touches the potatoes, like instantly they taste like that. Like sometimes
when you take a bite of said turkey with potatoes on it, of course it's
on it.
both
Yeah,
of them.
I'm saying
Well,
like
I
it's
mean, if
just
we're touching. When's the last time you had turkey that touched mashed potatoes and it didn't stick
okay.
to the turkey?
So
Like,
potatoes was a bad call.
oh, okay. Let's use something like cranberry sauce. Oh crap! Wait, same thing. Oh, let's use stuff.
What about broccoli?
Wait.
What about broccoli?
No
On what?
cranberry sauce on my plate.
No broccoli touching like anything. Broccoli doesn't.
Okay,
migrate.
then it rolls. I'm not a crazy person. I'm not going to throw it out. But if my broccoli rolls over onto something, you just move it back to its spot. Like everything has a place.
Wow. Wow.
My favorite part of this is like
You feel like you know somebody.
I can just see the wheels just spinning, and that like now they're not even spinning anymore. They're just grinding against each other. Like Ryan's
Like
just
the high-speed chase when the wheel comes off and he's still going. You see sparks flying everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here.
fans' ears.
Oh,
You're 4 stars deep in a GTA chase, and you just
oh yeah. You're like, wow, we're gonna wait till this guy calms down. We
Yeah,
didn't
my
talk
favorite
about.
I was just going to add in my favorite part of this is like I had mentioned that my wife stole the ketchup thing from influenced my kids. Well, now I've got my kids sectioning their food when she brings it over to her, so it's like almost like this mini win that we have against each other.
And that's what you don't do. I can hear the NWO music in the background.
What's going on, jerks? What's going on?
He comes in just like freaking bat out of hell.
I don't hear it. I don't know what you're talking about.
But they did.
I'll turn this off before we get this thing shut down for copyright infringement.
Yeah, I think 15 seconds is about the span. So as long
But
as
if somebody else is playing it somewhere else, does it count?
It's a good question.
like if you had Kodak Black playing in the background, you'd be okay.
Well, the song, yeah. Well, at least
a lady
you know,
friend there
The
too.
song I meant, not that.
the song would finish. Ayo! Ooh. I have
have to
never
pull
been
out-
more disappointed in anything in my life than to find out that they weren't actually having sex. I've got it.
They weren't.
I got it.
I'm actually disappointed that you told me that.
I'm sorry. Oh no, I did to you what Twitter did to me. I'm so sorry. I have shattered the illusion that those two folks were having sex at that hockey game. I am so sorry. But if you haven't seen it, we do have the other angle. See the cross angle, you can see somebody filming it, right? So I'm like, where's that angle? This is what we need. That has now been released, and sadly, it confirms that there was just a wee bit of dirty dancing going on, and there was some grinding into some business, but there was nothing. I'm not going to use the word penetration because that's not classy. But there was no. I'm not going to use it. That's not what I'm going to say. But there was no coital impact.
No
Yeah,
coitus.
we'll go with that. That sounds. That's.
Can you imagine if Jean-Claude Van Damme does a sequel to Sudden Death?
Coital
Oh no! You
impact.
know what I want? I need to know what song was playing in the arena at the time. We got 15 seconds on the clock. Had to be. Had to be this. This is Too Close by Next. If you're not familiar,
Welcome to the 90s, folks.
here I'm gonna pull up. I know we're talking about food and stuff. I'm sorry just to show up and start hijacking stuff. But have you ever read the Wikipedia description of this song and what it's about?
No.
All right, I
I
will.
don't think I've ever had like the thought, what is that song about?
Yeah, it's about a girl grinding up on a fella in the nightclub and making it hard for him. Yeah, like imagine this is exactly what's going on in Florida tonight. And it's just like, it's the fuck cam, basically, is probably on because they got this going. Yeah, so hold on, let me see.
And we thought the Kiwi comments were funny, but this is
Oh, did I miss the Kiwi discourse?
yeah, Jenna Fabulous, our good friend from Canucks Nation.
Feel a little poke thumbing through.
On you, yeah.
You.
On you.
Girl, I know
would
you
like
felt it. Boo, you know I can't help it. You know what I want to do. Yeah, like I remember this came out, I was in like the 6th grade. and at like elementary school dances, bunch of little kids getting down to the great beat, not necessarily the great lyrics, but being like 11 years old and being like, man, that song about boners is so good. Yeah, so it's
I get those.
Oh, they've edited the Wikipedia for this, but it used to have just the funniest Wikipedia. The song is about a young gentleman who's dancing with a female at the nightclub, and her pelvic gyrations are causing it, like, just very scientifically written. So, yeah.
So what's your food take? If you look in the, do you have access to the private chat by any chance?
What, the Twitter, the group chat there?
There's a note in here. There's we got a list of stuff, but what is your if you go in the little
I thought it'd be fun. Let's just come in with some like the least controversial food takes you've ever heard. Like, you know what I'm
just saying? I like pasta.
Saying, yo, pizza's good. Just saying pizza's pretty good. Hey, you know what tastes
I like where he's going with this.
All right, here's the boldest food take I have. You ready for it? You know what tastes really good on hot dogs? Condiments.
See,
I know it's controversial. I know it's controversial, but I'm going to say their hot take: condiments on hot dogs are really good.
So you're not a fan of those plain Janes over there?
No.
Yeah.
What is that? Yeah. You have a plain hot dog? That's the weirdest thing in the world.
Could you imagine if somebody made this? They're like, there's got to be something better than what we just did with it. We need to
plain hot dog. Plain hot dog's so good, but it's got to be a boiled hot dog. Can't be like a barbecued hot dog. It's got to be a boiled hot dog, and it's got to be a soft bun and nothing on top. That's just my favorite thing to eat. I couldn't think of anything I'd rather eat than a plain boiled hot dog.
I don't imagine a scenario where this would happen, but if it was down to plain hot dog or putting toothpaste on a hot dog, you better believe that crest is going on there. Now, again, I don't know what kind of scenario would arise where it's either plain or toothpaste. However, oh man, no.
No, yeah, I'm gonna have at that point. It's gonna be like whitening with like tartar fighting and stuff at that point. Like
yeah. And I had mentioned in the chat before that everybody likes to get involved in all pineapples on pizza. It's okay. It's not okay. It's the worst thing in the world. I think it's way more abhorrent to have mushrooms on pizza or anything. Yes. But why is there no hot debate on whether or not mushrooms belong on pizzas? It's ridiculous. Mushrooms are gross. Pizzas are good. It's just such a conflict of ideas.
I think it's just like, when you talk about the greatest bands of all time and,
Sloan.
There's all that guy talking about like, what did you say? Sloan?
I said Sloan. Yeah.
I was like, like that or like Chumbawamba. Like, it's just not like a conversation people are having. Like, it's, it might be a take, but like no one's bringing it up. Like
the mushrooms on pizza thing.
Yeah, because pineapple's, I think, super inoffensive on pizza, right? But there's the people who take that stance that this is some sort of like aberration, some sort of decline of society that we have pineapple on pizza. That's the weirdest thing. I'm like, no, we're all overlooking mushrooms. The powerful mushroom lobby is pushing the anti-pineapple on pizza agenda in order to deflect heat from them. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Maybe they're waiting the wings. They're like, we're gonna wait till this one dies down, and then we're gonna make it our moment. So like everyone, like how long has the pineapple pizza conversation been happening? Like 20 years, 25 years? Maybe that's it. The mushroom people have been waiting to get their turn, and they're gonna make that mainstream. Like, in the next couple of years, that's gonna be the conversation. People are gonna be talking about like mushrooms on pizza, and then that's where the debate will go.
This is easy. Like I'm a fan of mushrooms, but I'm not like a guy who goes out of my way to put mushrooms on pizza. I'll eat it if it's there, but I feel like there's a place for mushrooms on pizza. That being said, I am not the mushroom advocate to defend this, and if it dies here, it dies here, and that's not my fault.
That's an interesting take.
That's the first time I ever had like magic mushrooms is because somebody had put them on a pizza. So maybe that is somewhat coloring my. But mushrooms on pizza are a terrible idea. You're gonna be You're gonna be running around the street in your underwear in no time. Like, it's just super dangerous. Pineapples never had that effect.
Guys, it's just the Canadian. That's all we're ordering. Like, no, man, I don't think so. I had a bad like you can get this at every pizza place.
Yeah, I got another pizza take. It's just mostly pizza takes. McDonald's pizza was bad. Everybody.
No, you're wrong.
Had to have been bad. No, I don't want it to ever come back because as a child, I remember it being the tastiest pizza that ever was.
Oh,
This
like
is
the
the
McRib.
apex. Oh, this is the apex of pizza baking and construction and flavor. This is the greatest pizza ever, I thought, as a child. If they were to bring it back, it would be awful and terrible, and it would ruin all of our childhoods simultaneously. I think what they need to focus on bringing back is the chicken fajitas, gang. McDonald's chicken fajitas did not mess around. Those were delicious, and no one talks about them. It's always, oh, McRib, oh, the pizza. No. Chicken fajitas. Those were top shelf.
So I had the McRib as a grown man after it came out during the whole Flintstones thing, right? And it was garbage. It was trash.
Yeah.
And I do remember the
McDonald's. Just wait. As a grown man, the Flintstones movie came out when we were in school.
Right. So it came out.
He watched it as a grown man. He skipped it in theaters, and then like 20 years later, he's like, you know what? I could really go for some John Goodman, Rick Moranis.
It was on TNT the other
action.
night, so I jumped on there. No, so I'd watched it when I was a kid, had the McRib, had it like a dozen times, loved it. And then as a grown man, they brought back the McRib. And I tried it, and it was trash. It was terrible. So I'm with you that because I remember the pizza being good. I remember it too. And simply because you're also loudest, I can't disagree with the fact that if they just bring it back, it'll ruin everything.
Now, maybe that's why they got rid of it in the first place. This is a theory I'm willing to entertain, is that maybe it actually was good, but it was good because it took a little bit more time to prepare and to get things right. And that's just not what McDonald's is all about. Like, no, it's got to be out quick. We cannot be spending all of our time making this pizza delicious. It's got to go.
I'm going to ruin it for you guys.
That's a problem if it ever comes back, because they're just going to try in a really stripped down version of it and the cheapest ingredients. All right, what do you got, Ryan?
So here's the thing. And
it's nice to see you guys, by the way. I never said hello.
I
just logged in and started. But hello, nice to see you guys.
Here, I'm going in hot. So the McDonald's pizza, in my marketing class, we learned about this back a few years ago. So they had a special oven. It was a special oven.
No, I can't wait to get learned on McDonald's pizza.
Just for the pizza. That's all it made. All their other stuff you can make, you can do for fries, you can do the chicken nuggets, any deep frying thing, they can use the same, the same pots.
Right. Yeah.
The grill, they can grill basically everything. The pizza only made the pizza, and because it's fast food, it wasn't fast. It took 7 to 10 minutes. Well, when you're getting turnover, it's not a moneymaker. So
we're talking about pizzas, not turnovers. It's way different.
If I could punch you, I would. But that was the reason. It came down to money. It's not that it didn't taste good. It's that they couldn't make enough money because every time you had it, you could probably remember specifically every time you bought it and how long you had to wait for that pizza. I remember one time we were in Kamloops and we were on our way home and I ordered the pizza and I remember standing in line for like 10 minutes waiting for that pizza. And then they hand it to you and it's piping hot. You burn your mouth, clearly.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah.
That's a given.
That's waiting.
I'm just stating the obvious. But it was a good pizza. But was it worth, for the size you got, was it worth 10 minutes sitting at McDonald's when you could have had your chicken nuggets or your Big Mac or your Arch Deluxe like 6 seconds from now?
Oh, yeah.
No, because when you go to McDonald's, especially if you're heading through the drive-thru and you order any kind of chicken and it's past like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you know that it's fresh.
No, it's fresh. It takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're going through the drive there and you're like, hey, can you actually pull over and go park at the side? That's happening every single time if you order any kind of chicken.
That's
and now you're up to 10 minutes. Could have just as easily been a pizza.
Well, there's also that hack. It's like, oh yeah, if you ask for the fries without salt, you're getting an absolute fresh thing of fries because they don't just have 2 different piles of fries. They have to make a new
fart
one.
on them too because
there's going to be so many farts on them. Oh yeah, of course.
They're going to
jar 2 large 2 large fries, no salt, please. And if you could just send some extra packets of salt in the bag, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I'll salt my own fries. I have trust issues. Yeah. I am barely out racing diabetes and a sodium issue, so I need to make sure I'm putting the pinches on myself. I have control issues.
Yeah, Steve, what do you think on the pizza?
That's when you get the spit in your burger if you're doing that.
Oh yeah.
Does this look like spit? Burger please. I actually never. So I grew up in a small town with no McDonald's, so I have no clue what you guys are talking about with this pizza from McDonald's. But if I can get chicken nuggets in 3 minutes, or I have to wait 10 for pizza, give me the chicken nuggets. I'm going to be done them before you get your pizza, and I might order more food in that time.
I crushed a 10-pack before I went to a job today. I'm like, oh, I got 15 minutes. I can crush an entire nugget meal. I'm good.
They're a transition snack. Yeah, they're a transition snack. Like, I'll have to wait 10 minutes for pizza, so 10 nuggets will tide me over for the next little bit. A nugget a minute. That's a good ratio. So,
and even waiting like 10 minutes is fast for a pizza, but you can wait 0 minutes for a pizza if you go grab it hot and ready, right? I mean,
that's true. It's probably harder. It's a longer drive just to get there, really, because there's not so many of the Little Caesars. It's a little different, maybe in the Lower Mainland, but out here, like, it's hard if you're wanting to get a Little Caesars. You gotta know where those are at. You gotta know where you are in town.
Yes.
What makes more sense? Do I like commit to the hot and ready because I know dollar value wise this is a good bang for my buck, or do I get something that might cost a little bit more and it's closer? Realistically, it's the same thing because you're going to either waste gas and get a cheap meal, or you're going to spend more and use less gas. So that's an adult talking to you guys.
It just depends if you're hungover or not.
If you're hungover, it really doesn't matter. It's whatever's closest.
It tastes like cardboard. It doesn't matter. It's coming back up later on. So get it over and done with.
Yeah, and it's not like we're hitting the drive-through at 2:30 anymore. That doesn't happen either. So,
and you know what's awesome about that? Like, remember when they switched to the all-day breakfast? Like when that became a thing.
Asterisk, some items excluded.
That's true.
Yeah,
pancakes won't be ready for you, sir.
Yeah,
but like that must have been something when that came out for the bar crowd, right? Like, so you're telling me I don't have to wait till 7 a.m. to get my sausage McMuffin? Like, I can have that now? They must have untapped like this wealth of potential for new dollars that they had no access to originally.
Oh, definite game changer. You know what hurt the pierogi lady outside the bar for sure.
Yeah, and the street meat. Yeah, for sure.
I'm not okay with anything hurting the pierogi lady. Sweet lady. She does a great service for people. Damn you, McDonald's!
$13 for 4 per. All right, I'm pretty drunk. So.
Like that thing changes over right at 11 too. The McDonald's like breakfast menu. They don't mess around with that anymore. This last week I was doing some work with some folks, and there was a McDonald's around, and then we had like 9 minutes before the breakfast was over, but people wanted breakfast. So, you know, there are things you have in life that you're good at that it's a bit sad. I'm very good at navigating that McDonald's menu inside the electronic menu board. I make that shit work. So I was like, okay, everybody give me your orders. I will go and I will go through and do it. And then, 10:59, everything got through. And then the board shut down. The menu board in the actual restaurant just goes black for like 20 seconds and then boots back up with all the Big Macs and all that sort of stuff. So they're not screwing around. You can't just stroll in at 11:01 and be like, yeah, you know, I know you got some more in the McGriddle stuff there. Hook me up with the McGriddle.
It's done. So done. The people you were with, they're like, now I've heard about the Matrix, but like this guy might be maybe he's the one. Like he's the one we should be following.
I was hoping for some sort of standing ovation or something when I came back with everybody's breakfast.
263? Okay.
Not breakfast for everybody except for Alan had to get a Big Mac because it was 11:01 and I couldn't get the thing on the board in time. No, breakfast for all.
Yeah. That's
have you guys ever done that the opposite way? I was at a buddy's wedding in Kamloops, and we were coming back. It's like, you know, we're driving at 10:55, and I was like, oh, we might as well just grab lunch on our way so we don't have to stop. And I was like, I want some chicken nuggets. It's 10:57 when we get to the microphone. I'm like, okay, I'll get some chicken nuggets. The guy's like, oh, we're actually not doing lunch yet. And I was like, well, by the time I drive up there, it's going to happen. He's like, I actually can't put it through until it's 11 o'clock. And I was like
locked menus.
Yeah. And I was like, well, fine. I'm not moving then. I'm going to wait you out 3 minutes. All of these hours
you powered him.
But it didn't. He outpowered me. He was like, actually, I'm going to have to get you to drive through and go back in line. Then it'll be 11 o'clock.
No,
I was like,
get out here and push the car if you feel that strongly about it. Like, I'm not moving. I'm putting it in park. Do your worst.
Yeah, we're gonna go to hands here. Like, I don't care how much money you make.
With all the chaos and uncertainty in today's modern world, it is nice to know that McDonald's has their lines firmly drawn in the sand, and they will not move. They
And
will
yet
not
we're willing
bend.
to, like,
They will
listen
not
to
break. Yeah.
Like, so you can't. Sorry, we just can't do that. Like, no, you can't.
Well,
I know you
I'm
can.
kind of, after hearing Bowman's story there, I'm almost wondering if it's because their computers like literally go through this like transition reboot. And he's
Has
like,
to
no,
be.
dude, I literally can't. Like, come inside and look at my screen. I can't do it. And here I am, just like punking this burger guy who is making like $15 an hour. And he's like, God, I hate my life right now.
But then you got a man on the inside who knows how to hack the system, and it's like 9:30 at night. Oh yeah, you want some hotcakes? Here we go.
Maybe there's a way that you somehow get best of both worlds. Like you appear in the driveway at like 10:59, quickly put in an order for a couple of Egg McMuffins, or I guess it'd be like breakfast fajitas in this case because Egg McMuffins go all night.
Yeah.
But couple of breakfast fajitas, and then quickly hit the switch over, and then also order a couple Big Macs, and you've just screwed the system.
Oof.
That's what legends are made of.
Yeah. I think
This
everybody's heard
became-
rumor of someone pulling that off, but no one knows the
It
person
became like a
specifically.
conspiracy theory podcast. I know we were talking about food, but now we figured out how to take down big fast food.
What other hot food takes did I miss? Anybody with anything insane? I saw there were some people chatting about mashed potatoes being shit. I'm not having any of this. It's
All right.
ridiculous.
You can take over, Bowman. This is where you can thrive.
Well, there's not a ton I have to say about it except for that they're good. They're really good. What's the problem? Sometimes I'm having a Thanksgiving or a Christmas or whatever, and I'll cut a roll in half, and I'll put some gravied mashed potatoes on that roll, a little bit of turkey as well. Close that sumbitch up. Who's got a Thanksgiving little sandwich? I do.
The one thing Steve would probably like be freaking out like at that
No,
point.
because it's my choice at that point. Like if I'm assembling the burger or turkey sandwich, then I'm in control of mixing the food, and it sounds delightful.
It's great.
Do you
Yeah,
put a
hey,
little turkey in
the
there
mashed
too?
potato on the bun, maybe throw a little bit of turkey in there. That sounds like it might be pretty good. It sounds a little bit like almost like a shepherd's pie. I could get on board with that.
And here-
Yeah.
I think there's
What if
there's
you-
better ways to
Country
eat
pickle?
mashed potato than just mashed potato. I think just mashed potato.
Yeah, the delivery
So-
system can be improved. We've been just doing
Yeah.
a thing of mashed potatoes for hundreds and thousands of years. Let's
Yeah.
throw it on some stuff. Hey, we were talking hot dogs earlier. Brain starts working right now. Put some mashed potatoes on a hot dog. Let's do it.
I think that's possible.
You know,
I feel like-
it
actually-
might not taste bad. It
Call
might
it a
not
bow
taste bad.
dog. Let's call it a bow dog. Copyright that shit.
I actually, and I swear to you, there was a place in
I
town.
think the name's not even taken. I think you're good.
Yeah,
Like, we're not even going to contest you. Just
I'm
you
gonna
can
make
have it.
one right now.
So there was this hot dog place in town. I think it was called like Hooligans or something like that.
Yeah.
Or they had a different name before that, but they did like these gourmet hot dogs, and it took like 10 minutes for them. They were delicious. So they like the bun was toasted. It was just toasted enough so that it was still soft but not soggy and not too like toaster. Anyway, perfect. Glazed, whatever. But then they had all the different types of hot dogs, and there was one. It was like not pierogi, but like not mashed potatoes, like a spicy pierogi, which is usually like a potato of some kind, right? Well, they did that. Essentially, it was a mashed potato with like all the green onions and all that on this hot dog. So I have had that. It's delicious.
Sounds good.
Delicious. Now
He had
I've got
one
to think-
with Cap and Crunch cereal on it too. That was super good.
That's true. They did. I've got an interesting take. So we're getting into some weird territory. Pickles.
Mm.
I
What's wrong
don't
with
like.
pickles?
I don't like when they're cut like slices, like discs.
Those
I
are
won't
different
be-
pickles. Those are bread and butter pickles.
No, like if you cut up a normal pickle, like
You want a
a dill
long,
or-
flat slice
need-
of pickle,
they
not
need
your
to
little
be-
circular jobs.
it can't be
Can't
filleted.
have a
It's not-
circular job.
It's got to be sticks. It's got to be sticks or a big one.
Slabs.
Yeah, it can't be.
I can't
can't
stand
be-
them on my burgers. I like to eat them I'll pick them off and eat them separately. I can't stand them actually in the burger because I don't feel the bite severance is ever like strong enough to cut right through the pickle. You'll bite it and then pull back, and then guess what? That pickle's coming off and hitting you in the chin.
the
You
face.
can't just sever properly. Maybe that's just my teeth. You can't just sever properly like through the pickle and leave a bunch of it in there. That thing's sliding right out, drives me nuts.
Yeah, I can't do the flat pickles. They've got to be like sticks. They got to be cut.
Coins, pickle coins. They're good
don't
when
like
you
the
deep fry them,
coins.
though. The coins
No.
are good when you deep fry them.
Okay, and that's totally different at that point. That's a whole other awesome.
That would also cause them to break a lot easier. So that's solving everybody's problems with pickles and burgers.
Yeah. So just saying, that's where I'd stand. So we got into potatoes. Pulp versus no pulp. Is that like a debate?
No pulp at all.
Okay,
that's a floaty in your drink. Guess what? If I'm having a liquid, I would like all of it to be liquid, please, unless it's some sort of root beer float. I'll accept that. But aside from that, I'm drinking a liquid that just has a bunch of little floaties and stuff in it. Not having it. Texturally, I don't like it.
It's the only drink that asks for that. That's it. It's just
like
like
aloe drinks now that have the little chunks of like aloe vera and stuff in them. Again, I got a big problem with those.
Orange. So it's like bubble tea. You're clearly out to lunch.
Oh no chance. That's not happening at all. Liquids are for liquids. Get these solids out of here.
So what do you do when you're like having a beer and like the carbonation in there? You're like, whoa, we can't be mixing two properties here. Like
we're talking about a gas here. That's a gas, sir. I think I'm not a scientist, but I'm fine with a carbonated beverage. That's fine because it's still all liquid in there with a little bit of, let's just say magic with the carbonation. But there's nothing physically in the liquid though, so that's all good.
You're not a smoothie person. Like if I gave you a smoothie, you're like, nope.
Or if you had a smoothie, you couldn't have a strawberry smoothie, for example.
It depends on how well blended it is, because I hate if I'm at Booster Juice and I'm drinking it or whatever, and then I get a piece of the fruit at the bottom of the straw. That's a big problem. Because then I have to like blow to dislodge it, and it's happened recently where I did that, and then it exploded all over me. Solids and drinks cause that, not my own idiocy. I want to be very clear about this.
I just think that you're kind of wrong on that because it's just orange juice. We're not talking about any other drink but orange juice when it comes to pulp. So I think, and it's not like you're not getting chunks. You're getting like
it's enough
seeds.
It's enough. It's
leaks of it.
I don't think you get.
If I couldn't detect it at all while I was drinking it, then fine. But if it's showing up on my radar, nope.
I think what Ted is talking about, like if you had like a strawberry smoothie and you get like the seeds in there, are you a gagger with that kind of stuff? You're like, oh, solid.
First of all, incredible impression. That's pretty good. No, that's fine. Again, if I can't detect it, and smoothies are relatively thick as it is as a liquid, so you could hide a bit more little tiny stuff in there like that, and I'm fine. But if it's orange juice, no, this is a straight. I think it's the fact that orange juice is such a liquid, it makes the pulp more noticeable. If that makes any sense at all, and if it doesn't, I'm fine.
Okay, that's an
opinion.
I'm completely indifferent when it comes to orange juice, but I think if I had to choose one, I'd probably pick the one with pulp in it.
I'd go pulp for sure. Yeah. Every day.
Extra
every day.
All right, well, thanks for having me. I'm gonna go.
This will suck.
You pulp-loving bastards. I'm kidding.
So we'll put in a few more. Like this is. I don't want to stretch people's lives too long here. Pumpkin spice. I know we drew the line on. Oh, we're all into this.
I am seasonally only. It's an autumnal thing. I'm not having pumpkin spice whatever in March. I do like and appreciate it has its window. It stays within that, and we've all accepted it.
Okay.
See,
a lot of disagreement.
I love pumpkin spice stuff, and now that Spectrum has that pumpkin spice latte beer,
oh god, it's delicious.
Oh, so good.
I had a couple of them left over, and I do like them more in the fall. But you have one in January, it tastes just as delicious.
Have you had the Spectrum has like a multi-pack of different
the barista pack.
Yeah, the barista pack. That's the one. That thing is insane.
I'm down in that right now.
Just Spectrum in general. You're getting like birthday cake, and there's like there was other one. Oh, there was the chocolate pack, right? There was the white chocolate.
Yeah, and they had one that's like after eights. Yeah,
right. Yeah, the after eights. But I think where this like conception of it's a seasonal thing only, is it because it's only available to drink in the season of choice? Like if you had pumpkin spice available to you in August, would you not be okay with it?
No, not really. I need to start seeing some pumpkins and stuff on some store shelves. Like that's a September, October. That is purely a harvest thing as far as I'm concerned. Where do you guys
see the season happening?
Yeah, where do you guys land on eggnog? That's always a very controversial, controversial take when it comes to people liking or hating eggnog.
No,
I see Steve
fan.
shaking. Steve, get big shakes from Steve. Not a fan.
Big fan of eggnog.
Oh,
bigger fan of rum and eggnog. But there is two different kinds of eggnog that people don't often realize, and that there's classic eggnog, and then there's like the thick, sort of almost oily eggnog, and it's got to be the classic, really milky eggnog.
The stuff that's in the carton, your Dairyland stuff, your Lucernes,
even
not
Dairyland
your glass bottle ones. The glass bottle ones are like the.
No, so glass bottle is like
the
you're
fresh
talking like
stuff. That's good.
The Dutchman is that's really good stuff. But if you're going Dairyland, there's like the classic red container or the classic purple container. You got to go purple. It's got to be
Errol freezing up there. They know. Fresh eggnog, yes. Carton eggnog, no.
Errol's been coming in hot all night. He's had a handful of amazing takes. We actually just follow each other on Twitter. That's how on brand I am.
What's their Twitter? I'll follow right now.
Bear with me. Keep talk amongst yourselves.
The big
Arth
trick.
Errol.
The big trick when making your rum and eggnogs is that you got to go.
I'm already following ice.
There you go.
You got to go ice, then you got to go cinnamon, then you go alcohol, then you go eggnog, and that makes sure that there's no clumping in there, because that's what you got to avoid. You got to get like cinnamon and rum throughout the eggnog as you're mixing it. That's the way to do it.
Steve, your thoughts? You hate eggnog so much. Does any of that sound appealing at all?
I liked it as a kid, and this is a weird one for me because I'm really I like my sweets. Like I'm a candy person. I like chocolate. Like the sweeter the better. I found it just became too sweet, and I'll give it this: I have never had rum and eggnog, so maybe the rum would sort of cut into some of that sweetness. But I just feel like I'm eating like I don't know what it is. It's just like it's too thick. You're like choking on it.
Sounds to me like you need to cut your eggnog with half and half milk.
Yeah,
like you go half milk.
Teddy, the eggnog professor, he knows all the tricks.
It's a thing. You got a half cup of eggnog, half cup of milk will probably do the trick for you, I bet.
All right. Last thing I'm going to ask you guys about before I guess skedaddle here. Also very controversial. Black licorice. Where do you fall? Yay or nay?
Scum.
I think it depends whether you like Zambuca or not.
It goes in the trash. Zambuca is a different thing.
Yeah.
Some things like star anise is like whatever, you can use it in cooking, but straight black licorice, like eating black licorice. My wife is Dutch. She loves that shit. Like she loves it. Like the saltier black licorice stuff. She thinks it's the best.
Black licorice is
it belongs in the garbage.
Evil tastes like, as far as I'm concerned. Like
it goes into the trash.
Horrible.
Yeah, it goes into the trash with the ketchup chips. It's gross.
It's just who decided that needs to be made? Like obviously it came from like the is it not the Zambuca, but like a black licorice, it came from like a European thing, right? Would have started, I'm assuming.
No, I mean I think it's a Dutch thing. Yeah, Dutch and Greek.
I think it came from hell. One of the layers for sure. I think the fourth or fifth layer of hell is where black licorice originated first.
So like there's the red one out there, like what's the name? Sarah Spillin or whatever is it called? Is that the red one?
Dara Lee?
No.
Sarah Lee.
No, Dara Lee is like the soft eating, like Australian licorice. That's
so there's the red. Where's the original name of the red one? There's a flavor. They did a beer of it, like at
red licorice.
Okay, let's go with that. So there's red licorice, and then maybe that's where it was adopted from. They're like, well, we need to make this less harsh, and we need to make it so that people will buy it.
How about this, but horrible? Everybody on board?
Yeah. So no, they probably came out with the black one first.
Oh, like, black was first.
Not enough people are gonna like this. We have to make this so everyone will like it, and then that's what took off. And they're like, we're gonna keep this for us, and we're like, good. We don't want that. We don't want.
Here's the big difference though. If we're talking red licorice, what's superior to you, nibs or Twizzlers? This is where I find people get.
I will say I'm gonna go kind of in the middle with that. I prefer super nibs. Those are my favorite movie snack.
Ones.
So the long ones or whatever.
But still, like nibs licorice tastes different than licorice. Like
they're different.
Spirally one. Yeah.
Have you ever had like the jump rope ones? Like the ones I think you usually get them at like Christmas. Like they're the ones that are like
red vines. Because red vines I think red vines are only in the States, but red vines are disgusting. And I'm a big licorice guy, but I think red vines taste a lot different than Twizzlers, and they're not good. And I don't know what the specific difference is.
So they make like a super. I don't think it's red vines. They make like
Right.
a super nib, and it's like wrapped in plastic, like a big long package. And they're like, I think they call them like something ropes. I'm sure I can find them and we'll put them on Twitter or something. But
Right.
they taste different than the nibs too, and they're actually like almost like a harsher taste. It's basically like the entry level into black licorice. Like, if you like this, would you like to try some of this other stuff?
Well, not if you
Yeah,
say it like that.
I find in general that when something tastes good, that if you make a harsher tasting thing, it's definitely, it's more positive, a better response.
Oh, is this
I'll
like
have the harsher tasting one, please and thanks.
is this like the conspiracy theory about the new Coke? Is that they were just trying to raise the sales of like original Cokes? It's like, hey, we'll put out this shit one, and then people will be clamoring for it. When we bring back the classic one in a year, people will be nuts for it. And it worked.
Nobody bothered to say like, but they're made by the same place. Like,
yeah,
no
they
like
Coca-Cola's just like
one.
they flooded the stock market, right? So they got to like put something else out there that tastes shitty before they can like make everybody realize how good the original. I get that. Yeah. It seems like it seems smart to me.
Like, everyone was mad about new Coke when it came out, and yet they're like, no, but we'll stand by you, Coke. We'll just wait for the other stuff. So we're not going to like leave you, but like bring back the other stuff.
Pepsi's
and then they
like,
did.
come on, guys. We didn't change.
Yeah, we've been here all along, and they're like, "No, we'll wait for our."
We're good. We're still gonna wait.
Still rolling those Britney Spears ads. It's great.
Yeah. How about Crystal Clear Pepsi? Like, listen, new Coke was a bad idea. You guys should have listened at that point.
We're gonna do a blue Pepsi. You want blue Pepsi? People like blue Pepsi, right?
Don't change. Make your money. Give us our Pepsi gear, and let's move on.
What do you feel is the most overrated and underrated soda?
Oh,
okay. We haven't done sodas. We haven't. So we'll end
I'm
on
gonna
this.
pop in case anyone accuses me being an American. It's pop. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
okay.
We'll end on this one. Well, this will be it. That's
Okay,
good.
I know this one's really popular, but I'm not a big fan of it, so I think it's overrated. Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Yeah, Mountain Dew's no good.
And I think there's a lot of people that love.
I mean, I think Mountain Dew is barely mainstream in terms of like the big sodas, but I can get on board with that. I think it's fairly overrated.
Dr. Pepper overrated.
Ooh. I just got Dr. Pepper mix for my soda stream. It's like Dr. Thompson or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know what it's called. It's just some knockoff or whatever, right? But,
Like Dr. Pepper.
No,
You
it's
have
good.
a soda stream machine. Like, I spent the $100, but like I can't afford the real syrup.
They don't make it. They just started making the real Pepsi stuff. They have like a Pepsi and 7-Up one, but everything else is just like your president's choice, like, Dr. Buzz or whatever. I would say overrated because I can't imagine. I don't know why people like it. Any form of ginger ale.
Oh, no way.
Ooh.
Ginger
Have you ever
ale
been
is,
sick?
oh
Have you
my
ever been
God.
No. Yes, I've
You've
been
never been
sick,
sick?
but
No.
it was caused by ginger ale, or it would just make it worse.
It is the ailment. That should be called
Oh,
Dr.
man.
Pepper.
No.
Ginger ale or ginger beer?
I'll stay sick, thank you.
I'm going to opposite side of the fence on this one. Ginger ale or ginger beer, underrated.
Yes.
Underrated. Overrated. I'm going to say both Coke and Pepsi. The colas are overrated in my opinion.
Okay.
It's not that good. Like, I don't crave. I mean, you crave flavors, but just the cola flavor is pretty blah, I think.
I think you have to be like you're almost like on the colas. There's the general cola. I think like the no name whatever.
The RC colas.
And I think anybody could be like that's the middle. I think. Then there's Coke and Pepsi.
I think
but they all taste so different. Like if I have to, I'm Pepsi guy. Like
severely underrated. I feel is Fresca. Fresca's good stuff.
Yeah.
Fresca's delicious.
Yeah. My dad loves him some Fresca.
Yeah.
Gonna give shout out to Dad there for sure.
Right on.
I would
Fresca
say
and Werther's original. I love old people things,
yeah,
man. I can't wait to be old.
I got a
tracksuit.
hang on. I got a Kleenex in my pocket here.
Yeah, he already has the Del Boca Vista tracksuit going on. So
That's right.
So overrated Dr. Pepper. Underrated would be
Vanilla Coke.
You know what? Like I was gonna say like even the cherry Coke. I used to think they were just a bad idea, and now Arby's has them. Shout out Arby's. They have the
I've never
meats.
had Arby's.
Never
And-
shouted out Arby's.
I feel like we have. We should be more. And they have like the option before the C Star VID. You could go and like make your own in there. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna try this cherry coke. Holy smokes, I order it every time now.
I do love those machines that the Coke
Mixer.
remix things or whatever. Those are incredible.
That's a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want Diet Vanilla Dr. Pepper. Let's make that happen.
Like, I want swamp water. No, you can't have that. But we'll make basically the same thing.
The Diet Dr. Pepper cans are by far the most interesting, though. Like, every time I'm standing at the checkout and I see the Diet Dr. Pepper stuff, I'm like,
the white with the
or
burgundy.
the vanilla or the cherry. I'm like, yeah, I need that. Oh, it's Diet. I don't want that. But I'm always drawn to it every single time.
Interesting. And Steve, you had both of yours. What were yours?
I said Mountain Dew. I don't know if there's I'm not a real big soda or pop fan.
You're like an energy drink guy.
Yeah, when I do have pop, it's always root beer. So, but I feel like root beer's a pretty solid choice. So I don't know if it's underrated.
What's your superior root beer then? Are you an A&W guy, Barks? Do you think about the old days of Hires?
Well, if you could get the old Hires, there was nothing better than it, like hands down. But like
the original multi-pack.
When Barks first came out, and they're like clapping at A&W. They're like, Barks has bite, and they're trying to like
Johnny? What do you mean Barks has bite?
Johnny?
I can see. Can you? No, but it's got that bite to it though.
Trying to own the root beer game, but they're all good. I just love all root beer. But yeah, Hires is like. You just can't get it anymore, right?
Is Hires mug now? Is that what that is? Was it just replaced by mug?
I guess I couldn't tell you.
Bought it, but the recipe, I don't think there's ever been a root beer like it.
Yeah, I've always been an A&W man. So
yeah, and
I mean,
it's tough to argue. They're also good.
Another pop that you put a scoop of ice cream in. Like, do you ever take a Fresca and be like, "Oh, I want a Fresca float"? No, probably not.
It's true. I've never said that.
You're not wrong.
Root beer float, maybe an orange crush float.
I'll have you know, Steve, I'm going to have a hot dog with mashed potatoes on it and then a nice Fresca float as soon as I'm done here.
Who's this jackalope over here? Yeah. Wow.
Maybe you took that Fresca and maybe you popped a little bit of like what's that ice cream called? Shoot. That's it's like a fruity ice cream. Oh, sherbet. Maybe you pop a sherbet in there. Yeah.
No way sherbet's going to be able to withstand the force of the carbonation and bubbles. This is going to smash apart.
Just destroys. It's just like a mess. Just like, what did I do? What did I do? You guys, this has been Hires and vodka at the liquor stores. Ooh. I've seen those. So they're still trolling us.
Sign me up
on the adult level. This has been a lot of fun. We're missing a few people, but that's okay. Maybe we'll get new topics for the next time we do this. Bowman, thanks for popping in towards the end here.
Thanks for having me.
You've got a busy life as well. Steve, thanks for, I think you managed to like slide in and have one of the longer runs. So well done. Good job. Ted, thanks for being along from the beginning. This has been a lot of fun.
It wasn't quite the whipping I thought it would be, so that was good.
You know what? I think we did beat the mashed potatoes thing to death. So we need to have other takes. Bowman, what's going on with you? Couple seconds to yourself. What's going on?
Oh, geez. Trust the Process will be coming back this weekend, most likely from our holiday hiatus. Canucks are playing again, so we'll be back in the mix at TTP Show Van on Twitter. Me, Sean Warren, and Joshua Griffith on the Area 51 network. We do Van Slam at Van Slam Pod covering the NBA. Those are Saturday mornings. Also have At the Movies 10 Years Later, where me and my good friend Janine watch and review whatever movies were number one at the box office 10 years ago. We're turning over the calendar to 2012 on the road to the Avengers. We're coming up on 10 years since the first Avengers, gang.
Are you going to be covering 2012, the movie?
Oh, we already did that a couple of years ago, and I love that movie because 2012 came out, I think, in 2009. So that review is available if you want to go At the Movies 10 years later and hear me geek out over how awesome Oliver Platt was in that movie and how he was the only person who was right and everybody treated him like an asshole the whole time. It's glorious. I love 2012. So silly.
There's one, Bowman, because it's real easy to pick your most favorite movie genre. What's your second favorite movie genre?
Probably really, really grim French dramas.
What?
No, I'm joking. No. It's got to be black and white. Get that color shit out of here. That's not getting the emotion across properly if it's in color. I need suffering in black and white. No, I like a good, I kind of like everything. It's like music, right? Even a genre I don't like country music, has some stuff that, okay, this kind of crosses party lines and I'm into this. So love comedies, love a good action movie. Dramas are probably my least favorite because who wants to feel bad? Who wants to feel dramatic about things, right?
That's true. That's
Love
true.
it.
That's true. Steve, because you're a good friend, I don't remember if he pumped his podcast up enough, but have at her, bud. What's going on with you?
Yeah, I heard Chris plug us a little bit here, so I'll keep it short. You can check us out, ballhawks_pod. Usually every Sunday football. Chris mentioned our team sucked this year, so maybe we're the bad luck charm and we should just quit it all. You can also tell who runs most of our social media accounts because they're really horrible takes that are flowing in through here under Ballhawks podcast. So I apologize for Chris in advance, but it's a fun show. Come check us out. You can find me on Twitter at @SSFisher87.
Beautiful. They're also on the Dean Blundell Network. Thank you for being able to host this. We're gonna kick you guys out, and we'll do our final closeout. It's gonna be so sweet.
You can't kick me out. I'll be here as long as I. Okay, that's where you probably should. Yeah,
I was just gonna do that. So it's neat that we can do these things. This was a lot of fun. We're just about at 2 hours. Definitely a long one, but I feel it's one of those like it's a flowing conversation. So this isn't going to be like the best podcast. It's definitely a lot of fun on the video side of things. But like if you're just looking for like a rolling conversation, this show definitely did the trick. I do want to shout out our new sponsor to the show, Move Health and Wellness. They are now open in our Kelowna Walmart here, as well as a few locations in the Lower Mainland in Victoria. Chiropractic care, massage therapy, physio, acupuncture, I believe, and counseling as well. You got to get in there, and I've heard some things that maybe if you do massage therapy, registered massage therapy. Let's just say if you live in Kelowna, folks, that you might want to get on that because I'm pretty sure if you get the stuff done, you know that the wait times are like a month or two. And by then, obviously, you need work done. But, a month from now, how do you know when you're going to be able to book it? I just booked mine yesterday for next week. And I could have booked it for Saturday, but it's my daughter's birthday party. So just so you know, like that's a few days from now I could have been booking. I mean, sells itself.
Yeah, and we're at that time right now. The gyms are closed. I think it's a good time for literally health and wellness. So take a few minutes, get your body in order, make an appointment, go see a professional, and see what you can do to prep yourself to get ready for when the gyms reopen and sports reopen and things in general reopen. It's been already what seems like a long winter, so let's just stay on top of things.
And there's still snow on the ground outside, so we're all doing our part to shovel, especially if you live on like a snow route. I know I do. So getting rid of all the snow, we're living on the street where there's a sidewalk on our side, so we have to have everything shoveled and stuff. It's starting to get heavy. Your back's starting to feel it if you don't lift all the time with your legs and you're hybriding into that, the lean. You're going to get some work done. So if you happen to be one of those people that is lazy enough to use your back all the time, which I used to, you're definitely going to need Move. And big thanks to Gary for coming on board with us. We're gonna make you proud, and like I said, I'm signed up. It's one of those things that as an adult, like if you've got benefits, like these are the places that become your favorite places because you use them. Our whole family uses chiropractors as well. I can't say enough about these places because as we grow older, Ted, like you've had, the knee surgeries and everything, like you want your body to be intact as long as humanly possible. So we do appreciate that. And like someone that's sponsoring us, like this actually makes sense. Like we're talking hockey. Like I said, I think we've got a chiropractor coming on the end of the month. We'll talk about like some sports injuries and like basically I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be a lot of fun. DGAF, don't give a food take. It's been a marathon of crazy. Like I said, we're missing a few people, but that's okay. This has gone really, really well. And if you guys have any food takes that we didn't cover, hit us up on PP1 Podcast on Twitter or maybe on Instagram. Obviously, we appreciate you guys on the YouTube, but come at us, myself and Ted as well. We're more than happy to debate. Maybe let's leave mashed potatoes for another day. I think we've beat that one to death. So I guess any final words on yourself?
I don't know what's left to say. That was a lot.
We're
That was
done.
it was a good time. I maybe this will have to be an annual thing, and we'll prep some more food takes for the next time we bro this combo out.
For sure. So on behalf of Ted, I am Ryan. Make sure all of your food's touching on the same plate. This is the PP1 Podcast.